Welcome to the Amazing Race review, and no, I did not plan ahead. I didn't think it would be this cold down here.
It's freezing.
So we found an old blanket.
It was just washed, okay? It's not that old,
but I just wanted to be dramatic.
Alright, well, last time when we were on the race, Kynt and Vixsyn were eliminated. I know. I really like them.
Yeah. So, TK and Rachel were the first to leave this week, and...
The instrucciones were to fly 4,000 miles to Osaka, Japan. Go to this castle, which I don't know the name of.
And search for your next clue on the ground.
Right. So, Christina's all excited because she has studied Japanese before.
She studied Japanese in Japan.
Yeah, she studied Japanese before. And so have I. Ohio, because I am...
No, like barely.
That's enough to get me out of the train station, that's for sure. So, Nate and Jen.
They're like, oh, we're going to stop arguing totally.
Really we are.
You've been saying that since the beginning.
I know. And TK and Rachel booked their flight, and they're leaving an hour before everybody else.
They're leaving at 6:55.
But you know what? Risky moves. They have 2 changes, and everybody else only has 1. See what happens.
I don't know. Well, I do.
Well, it was true. They arrived last. The other 3 people arrived first.
They were like way behind though, but we'll give you some checkups throughout so you know just how far behind they are.
Japan is beautiful.
Yeah.
And everybody's wondering where TK and Rachel are. They're still on the plane. Okay, so once everybody got to, besides TK and Rachel, got to Japan, they had to take a taxi to JR NODA station.
What kind of station was that? Like gas?
A train station.
Oh. So they had to find the cleaning man person at the station.
He was like steaming all the signs and everything. Dang, I want to live there. It's so clean. Where was all the people?
They were there.
I know, but
English.
They used to show train stations like years ago, and I used to see in Japan, they used to have people pushing people on trains.
Well, they got those freaking fast as bullet trains.
Yeah, well, maybe it was like a weekend or something, and nobody was like going to work or whatever.
I don't know. Anyone see that episode of Tom Green when they went to Japan?
It was hilarious.
In the
habit trails,
and he went on the subway or train or whatever, and he was singing Elvis, and everyone was like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Okay.
Go to karaoke station. Okay, so it's time for a roadblock. And you've got to become a taxi driver.
That is so cool how they always
wear the hat
and gloves.
Put them on.
Very Super Mario.
Yeah, they have to, I know, they have to take a couple to a destination.
5 miles away on the confusing, twisty-turny streets of Japan.
You can't ask the couple for help, but you can ask other people for help and actually even put them in your car with you.
I thought you couldn't.
Did that. No, I thought you could.
I thought you couldn't put people in your car.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know. So they had to go to a post office.
Right. So Jen was wasting a lot of time because
she's like, how do I look? Like crap,
do I look good? Do I look good with this hat? Is it right for me? Duh. Christina. Not a good driver.
She's not a good driver.
You should have... I don't know. I guess you wouldn't know until you opened the clue, so whatevs. And Nicholas, young man, put that hat on correctly.
Respect the uniform.
He didn't. I don't even think it fit on his head. Yeah, I don't think he was trying to be gangsta at all. It just didn't fit on his head. So, meanwhile, while
back at the train station, Grandpa and Ronald were sharing a snack.
And so became fast food.
Ronald was like, hey, let's finish this.
And he was still eating it, like, at the end.
I know.
So it must have been, like, taffy or something.
Who knows?
So, after you're done, you have to travel by taxi to Kitamoda Temple.
Well, after you drop off the couple, you have to return to the train station first on your own.
Right, which wasn't that easy.
It wasn't easy.
No. So, Nick was last coming back because he got lost.
Nick.
Kind of.
Well, he was the last one to leave, too, so it was, you know.
But just as Nick was arriving back to Grandpa, TK
Welcome
and Rachel were
Japan.
arriving in Japan, in Osaka.
Yes.
So, next up is a detour.
Sense of touch or smell?
I don't know. That's a tough decision.
So they were both about 10 minutes away by foot.
Right.
So, for sense of touch... you had to go to
Shimojima.
Yeah. And use cell phone controlled robots to play soccer.
And you had to score a goal each. That looked fun as hell.
But really confusing.
I could have done it.
I don't know. It's tough.
I could do it.
So then the other one,
Sense of Smell.
You had to go to a 2-story flower shop.
That was insane.
But
there was about 5 million flowers there.
Guess what? All those flowers are fake.
Except for one.
Except for like a few that they had.
Yeah, they had to have at least
store.
4 because there's 4 teams.
Yeah. So, you have to go
was
and
really hard.
only using your sense of smell figure out which one is the real flower.
I don't know if I could do that. Nate and Jen thought they could though because she's got the freaking nose of a bloodhound. I thought it was Pitbull for a minute, and then I'm like, Pitbulls don't have a good sense of smell. And Donald and Christina also chose the, Ronald and Christina also chose...
Get your facts straight.
I know, we're almost at the end. Come on.
So...
They chose that too, and Don and Nick chose the robots, which I think I would have done.
Don totally knocked over his robot like 5 times. He was like, son of a bitch.
I don't play video games.
On Golden Pond. No, man.
Her new favorite movie. Okay, so Nate and Jen finished first. It was totally like Domo Arigato.
Mrs. Greenhead Flower
Roboto.
Lady. She definitely had green hair. And when people came back with their flowers, she was like, ah!
Very good, very good. Hi. So, I'm not making fun of Japanese people. It's total respect. Okay, so, after you're done with the detour,
who knows?
You gotta go to Templeton Park, which is the next pit stop in this race around the world.
It's named for the lowest mountain in Osaka.
Or is it Japan?
I don't know.
Well, Ron and Christina were finished just after Nate and Jen. But Nate and Jen were such a bunch of sniveling little bitches.
They found a taxi, and Jen was like, you pushed me into it. And he's like, no.
You cost us the race.
Yes,
you
pushed
me.
That's going to cost us.
Duh. Get over it, you two. Stop the bickering. Because
Always,
you know what?
Constantly.
The other team's going to sneak right in there.
And they did.
Yay!
Ronald and Christina.
Ronald and Christina, it's about time, kids.
Why? They've come in first place before.
Well, they learned that by stopping the bickering, they can
Yes.
sneak right in there.
So they both won electric cars.
And this is not just like some little robot vehicle. 4-seaters.
I can't believe they got
them.
electric cars.
I know.
That's crazy.
I want one.
That's the leg to win.
I want a Wii. You keep the electric car. Just send us a Wii. Yeah. Yeah, they should have picked us up one while they were in Japan, because we totally would have said, thank you very much. Domo arigato.
So, Nate and Jen, number 2.
Right?
We need to stop this bickering.
Because then we'll be like number 1, totally. It is on, like Amazon.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Right.
Okay, so Nick and Don.
Number 3.
Number 3.
TK and Rachel. I gotta hand it to them. They were in good spirits, even though it was totally obvious that they were in last place.
They were doing all the tasks
when there's
in the
only
dark.
one clue left in the box, you know that you're in last. So they were cool about it, and I really like that about them. That's why they're our favorites.
And guess what? It was a non-elimination leg.
Woo! Thank God.
But they're 3 hours behind the
You know
other
what? They
teams.
could make that up in
I know.
one
I'm
leg.
just saying.
Okay.
But and also
speed
next
bump.
week, speed bump for them.
Right. But also next week, Nate and Jen get cheap and dirty. What else is new? I think they resort to to like telling other people, tell them that flight's all full. Can't do it. Can't do it. So we'll have to wait and see till next week. That is if we don't get suspended, because thanks a lot, Sony Entertainment. They took down one of our videos for copyright infringement for the Amazing Race.
I don't know why, because there's no
There's
copyright
no clips
infringement here.
And we made our own logo, so WTF, Sony Pictures. Hopefully we'll hear back from you this week and you'll restore our video. So kids, until then, Sony Pictures,
Much
love.